Hello guys! The custody battle between Michael Corinthos and Willow Corinthos has taken an unexpected and dramatic turn on ABC's General Hospital, with Sasha orchestrating one of the most audacious legal maneuvers in recent soap opera history. While viewers have been following the complex web of deception surrounding Sasha's pregnancy, her latest move has completely shifted the dynamics of the courtroom drama and its aftermath. The foundation of deception. The intricate storyline began when Sasha became pregnant with Michael's child following their intimate encounter during a particularly vulnerable moment in both their lives. Understanding the potential devastating impact this revelation could have on Michael's custody case against Willow, Jason Morgan stepped forward to claim paternity of Sasha's unborn child. This protective lie was designed to shield Michael from accusations of infidelity that could significantly damage his chances of gaining custody of his children, Wiley and Amelia. Jason's decision to pose as the baby's father was not taken lightly, as he understood the complex ramifications of such a deception. Having previously protected Michael throughout his life, Jason viewed this as another necessary sacrifice to ensure the well-being of someone he considers family. The arrangement required careful coordination between Jason, Michael, and Sasha, with all three parties understanding that maintaining this fiction was crucial for Michael's legal strategy. The situation became increasingly complicated when Nina Reeves began investigating the true paternity of Sasha's child. Through careful detective work and conversations with various Port Charles residents, Nina eventually discovered that Michael, not Jason, was the actual father of Sasha's baby. This knowledge put Nina in a powerful position, as she could potentially use this information to influence the custody proceedings in favor of her daughter Willow. The custody battle intensifies. As the custody hearing progressed, tensions escalated dramatically in the courtroom. Michael's legal team, led by Diane Miller, worked tirelessly to present him as the superior parent choice, while Rick Lansing represented Willow's interests with equal determination. The stakes could not have been higher, as the future of Wiley and Amelia hung in the balance, and both parents were prepared to use whatever advantages they could muster. The courtroom proceedings revealed deep-seated animosities and strategic maneuvering from all parties involved. Testimony from various witnesses painted competing pictures of Michael and Willow's fitness as parents, with each side attempting to highlight their client's strengths while exposing their opponent's weaknesses. The involvement of Drew Kane in Willow's life became a particular point of contention, as Michael's team argued that Drew's presence created an unstable environment for the children. Sasha's subpoena to testify created immense anxiety for all involved, as her testimony could potentially expose the truth about her baby's paternity. The pressure of maintaining the deception while under oath in a high-stakes legal proceeding proved overwhelming, leading to the dramatic moment when Sasha went into premature labor during her testimony. This medical emergency not only disrupted the court proceedings, but also threatened to expose the carefully constructed lies that had been protecting Michael's case. Sasha's audacious strategy. In a stunning turn of events that shocked everyone present in the courtroom, Sasha made the bold decision to claim that Drew Kane was the father of her unborn child. This unexpected revelation sent shockwaves through the proceedings, as it completely reframed the narrative surrounding the custody battle and the relationships between the key players. Sasha's claim was supported by what appeared to be fabricated evidence suggesting an intimate relationship between herself and Drew. Evidence that she had carefully constructed to support her false testimony. This strategic deception served multiple purposes in Sasha's calculated plan. By implicating Drew as the father of her child, she effectively removed him from his position of support for Willow while simultaneously creating doubt about his character and reliability. The claim suggested that Drew had been unfaithful to Willow, undermining their relationship and calling into question his suitability as a parental figure for Michael's children. The fabricated evidence that Sasha presented was convincing enough to fool both the court and the various parties involved in the proceedings. Her ability to construct this false narrative demonstrated both her intelligence and her desperate commitment to protecting Michael's interests, even at the cost of her own reputation and the potential legal consequences of perjury. The boldness of this move reflected Sasha's understanding that dramatic action was necessary to shift the balance of power in the courtroom. Drew's furious response. Drew's reaction to Sasha's accusations was one of absolute fury and indignation. Having been falsely accused of fathering a child with someone he had no intimate relationship with, Drew found himself in the impossible position of defending against accusations that he knew to be completely fabricated. His anger was compounded by the realization that this false claim could destroy his relationship with Willow and damage his reputation throughout Port Charles. The timing of Sasha's revelation was particularly devastating for Drew, as it came at a moment when he was already vulnerable due to his complicated relationship with Willow and the ongoing custody proceedings. The false accusation not only attacked his personal integrity but also threatened to unravel the life he had been trying to build with Willow and her children. Drew's protests of innocence, while genuine, were difficult to prove definitively in the heated atmosphere of the courtroom. The impact of these false accusations extended beyond the immediate legal proceedings, as they called into question Drew's character and decision-making abilities. Members of the Port Charles community who heard about the allegations began to view Drew differently, creating social consequences that extended far beyond the courtroom. The reputation damage from such accusations could have long-lasting effects on Drew's personal and professional relationships throughout the community. The court's reaction and Michael's victory. The judge and court officials were visibly shocked by Sasha's testimony, as it introduced an entirely new dynamic to the custody proceedings that no one had anticipated. The revelation that Drew, who had been positioned as a stabilizing influence in Willow's life, was allegedly the father of another woman's child completely undermined Willow's case for custody. The court's perception of the stability and moral character of Willow's household was fundamentally altered by this unexpected development. This dramatic shift in the courtroom narrative provided Michael with the decisive advantage he needed to secure custody of his children. The judge's decision reflected the impact of Sasha's testimony, as it suggested that Willow's judgment in choosing romantic partners was questionable and that her household environment might not be in the best interests of the children. Michael's legal team skillfully leveraged this new information to argue that their client provided a more stable and trustworthy environment for Wiley and Amelia. The custody victory represented not just a legal triumph for Michael, but also validation of his concerns about Drew's influence on his children's lives. The court's decision acknowledged that Michael's fears about the instability in Willow's household were justified, and that his efforts to protect his children from what he perceived as a harmful environment were reasonable and necessary. Willow's devastating realization. For Willow, the revelation about Drew's alleged infidelity with Sasha represented a complete betrayal of everything she thought she knew about their relationship. The shock of learning that the man she had trusted and loved had supposedly fathered another woman's child while they were together was emotionally devastating. This betrayal felt particularly acute given that Willow had already sacrificed her marriage to Michael for her relationship with Drew. The loss of custody of her children, combined with what she believed to be Drew's infidelity, created a perfect storm of emotional devastation for Willow. She found herself questioning every aspect of her recent decisions and wondering how she could have been so wrong about someone she thought she knew intimately. The realization that she had potentially destroyed her family for a relationship built on deception was overwhelming. Willow's decision to end her relationship with Drew was swift and final, as she could not reconcile the man she thought she loved with the person who would allegedly father another woman's child while committed to her. The trust that had formed the foundation of their relationship was irreparably shattered, making any future reconciliation impossible. This breakup represented not just the end of a romantic relationship, but the collapse of Willow's vision for her future and her family's structure. Broader implications and future consequences. The ramifications of Sasha's bold deception extend far beyond the immediate custody proceedings, creating ripple effects throughout the Port Charles community. The false accusations against Drew have damaged relationships and created new alliances, while also raising questions about the lengths to which people will go to protect those they care about. Sasha's willingness to commit perjury and destroy reputations demonstrates the high stakes involved in family custody battles and the moral complexity of protecting loved ones. The aftermath of these events will likely continue to unfold over many episodes, as the truth about Sasha's deception may eventually come to light, creating new conflicts and consequences for all involved. Drew's efforts to clear his name and expose the truth about Sasha's false claims will probably become a major storyline, potentially leading to legal consequences for Sasha and renewed complications for Michael's custody arrangement. Next, we will delve into the whirlwind of drama surrounding Lulu Spencer and the shocking secrets she unleashed about Joe Palmieri. Prepare for a deep dive into the tangled web of motives, past traumas, and hidden vendettas that may have driven Lulu to act in such a devastating way. Was her explosive revelation truly for Dante Falcone's benefit, as she claims, or does it stem from a much darker, more personal place? Let's unpack the layers of this complex story, exploring not only the events that unfolded but also the psychological and emotional undercurrents that might have fueled Lulu's actions. From her fractured childhood to the haunting betrayals of her past, we'll leave no stone unturned in understanding why Lulu chose to detonate this bombshell, shattering lives in the process. The facade of altruism, Lulu's public justification. On the surface, Lulu Spencer has painted herself as a martyr, claiming her decision to expose Joe Palmieri's secret was an act of selflessness for Dante Falcone's sake. She's repeatedly insisted that her only goal was to ensure Joe could connect with his true family roots. But let's peel back the curtain on this noble facade. Many astute observers in Port Charles and loyal fans of General Hospital aren't buying this polished narrative. There's a lingering suspicion that Lulu's motives run far deeper than a simple desire for familial harmony. Could her actions be rooted in something more sinister, perhaps a need to settle old scores or exorcise personal demons? As we explore the intricacies of her character, it becomes clear that Lulu might be using this excuse as a shield to mask her true intentions. Maybe she's not the saintly truth-teller she portrays herself to be, but rather a woman haunted by her own unresolved pain, lashing out under the guise of doing the right thing. A vendetta against Brook Lynn. Digging deeper, it seems Lulu's actions might be less about Joe or Dante and more about a burning desire to take down her longtime rival, Brook Lynn BLQ. Their feud is the stuff of Port Charles legend, marked by years of bitterness, betrayal, and unspoken grudges. Lulu's possession of such a devastating secretio's hidden parentage gave her the ultimate weapon to strike at BLQ where it hurts most. This wasn't just about revealing the truth, it was about orchestrating a personal attack, cloaked in the pretense of moral righteousness. Perhaps Lulu saw this as her chance to dismantle the seemingly perfect life BLQ had built. A life that might have mirrored the stability and happiness Lulu herself has always craved but never attained. Imagine the bitter satisfaction she might have felt, knowing she could unravel BLQ's world with a single, calculated move. The question remains, was this purely a strategic play in their ongoing war, or does it hint at a deeper envy of the family connections BLQ represents? Shadows of a troubled past. To truly understand Lulu's destructive choices, we must journey back to the turbulent landscape of her early years. Born into the iconic Spencer family, Lulu's childhood was anything but idyllic. Her mother, Laura Spencer, suffered a catastrophic mental breakdown, rendering her unable to care for her young daughter. Meanwhile, her father, Luke Spencer, was often absent, gallivanting on adventures that took precedence over family obligations. Though Luke initially feigned joy at Lulu's birth, he later confessed that the burdens of fatherhood weighed heavily on him, a revelation that must have stung deeply. Left in the care of her grandmother, Leslie Weber, Lulu grew up in the shadow of parental abandonment. This instability left scars that likely shaped her worldview, fostering a sense of longing for the family unity she never experienced. Could it be that her actions against Joe, Dante, and BLQ stem from a subconscious resentment toward anyone who appears to have the familial bonds she was denied? This fractured foundation offers a poignant lens through which to view her recent behavior, suggesting that her outburst might be less about malice and more about a desperate yearning to rewrite her own story. The heart-wrenching losses of motherhood. Adding another layer of complexity to Lulu's motivations are the gut-wrenching betrayals she endured as a mother. Her journey into parenthood was marred by unimaginable violations first, when the sinister Helena Casadini stole one of her eggs to create Charlotte Casadini for Valentin Casadini. Then, in an equally horrific twist, Britt Westburn pilfered an embryo belonging to Lulu and Dante, giving birth to Rocco Falconeri and claiming him as her own. These acts of biological theft robbed Lulu of precious years with her children, reducing her role as a mother to a cruel game of chess played by others. The emotional toll of such losses cannot be overstated. Imagine the rage and helplessness of watching your children grow up under someone else's influence, knowing you were powerless to stop it. This history of being manipulated and sidelined as a parent likely stoked a simmering bitterness within Lulu. It's plausible that her decision to expose Gio's secret was a way to reclaim some agency, even if it meant hurting others in the process. After all, when your own family has been weaponized against you, how can you not harbor a lingering distrust of familial ties? The long shadow of trauma and recovery. Let's not forget the more recent chapter of Lulu's life that adds yet another dimension to her actions, her emergence from a 4-year coma. Waking up to a world that moved on without her must have been a disorienting, isolating experience. Friends and family had forged new paths, and Lulu was left grappling with the fragments of a life she could barely recognize. The psychological impact of such a prolonged absence, coupled with the physical and emotional strain of recovery, cannot be underestimated. Emerging from a coma isn't just a medical miracle, it's a profound upheaval that forces one to confront lost time, altered relationships, and a shifted sense of self. Perhaps Lulu's decision to meddle in Jiu's life was a misguided attempt to assert control over a reality that felt so foreign to her. Maybe this act of disruption was her way of screaming to the world that she's still here, still relevant, and still capable of influencing the lives around her. This theory paints her not as a villain, but as a deeply wounded individual struggling to find her footing in a life that slipped through her fingers. Jealousy or justice? Unpacking Lulu's true motive. As we piece together these fragments of Lulu's past, a compelling question emerges. Was her interference in Jiu's life driven by jealousy of the happy family unit that Dante, BLQ, and Joe represent? It's a tantalizing possibility. Lulu's own history is a patchwork of broken relationships and stolen moments, a stark contrast to the tight-knit bonds she might perceive in others. Seeing a family thrive in ways she never did could have ignited a profound sense of envy, prompting her to disrupt their harmony as a way to level the emotional playing field. Alternatively, could her actions stem from a twisted sense of justice, a belief that no family should hide such monumental truths, given how her own secrets were wielded against her? This duality versus a warped moral compass offers a rich ground for speculation. Perhaps it's a mix of both, a cocktail of envy and anger, stirred by years of personal grievances, that led her to pull the trigger on this explosive revelation. The unyielding defense of a fallen hero. Even as the fallout from her actions reverberates through Port Charles, Lulu clings steadfastly to her narrative of altruism. She insists, with almost saintly conviction, that everything she did was for the greater good, to ensure Joe knew his true origins and Dante wasn't kept in the dark. Yet, this unwavering defense only fuels further skepticism. Why does she refuse to acknowledge any personal stake in this drama? Is it pride, or refusal to admit her vulnerabilities, or a deeper fear of confronting the real reasons behind her choices? Her persistence in portraying herself as a selfless hero raises red flags, suggesting she might be hiding from her own truth. As the residents of Port Charles and we, the viewers, watch her stand by this story, we can't help but wonder if this is merely a defense mechanism, a way to avoid the harsh mirror of self-reflection. What would happen if Lulu finally admitted that her actions were fueled by anger, loss, or envy? Would it be a path to redemption, or would it only deepen the wounds she's inflicted on others? A call to the fans: what drives Lulu Spencer? As we wrap up this deep exploration of Lulu Spencer's shocking decisions, we turn the spotlight to you, our passionate General Hospital fans. What do you believe lies at the heart of Lulu's actions? Is she a woman scorned, acting out of deep-seated jealousy over the family life she never had? Or is she a wounded soul, whose past traumas, abandonment, betrayal, and loss have warped her sense of right and wrong? Maybe you see her as a calculated schemer, using Jiu's secret as a pawn in her ongoing battle with BLQ. Whatever your perspective, one thing is clear: Lulu's story is a tapestry of pain, longing, and unresolved conflict, woven into the very fabric of Port Charles. We invite you to share your theories, insights, and predictions in the comments below. How do you think this saga will unfold, and will Lulu ever confront the true reasons behind her destructive choices? Next, we will explore the blossoming romance between Joe and Emma, a pair that's capturing hearts in Port Charles this summer. As the warm breeze sweeps through the town and the Metro Court pool beckons with its shimmering allure, could these two young souls be on the cusp of becoming the next legendary super couple? With Joe reeling from devastating family revelations and Emma standing as his unwavering anchor, their bond is deepening in ways that hint at something truly extraordinary. Join us as we dive into the intricate layers of their relationship, trace the rich history of iconic couples in General Hospital, and speculate on whether Joe and Emma have what it takes to etch their names into soap opera history. From tender beginnings to the challenges that lie ahead, let's unpack every detail of this captivating summer love story. A summer of connection in Port Charles. As summer unfurls its golden glow over Port Charles, the atmosphere is ripe with possibility, romance, and new beginnings. The sun-drenched streets and vibrant social scenes like the much-anticipated opening of the Metro Court pool set the perfect backdrop for love to flourish. Amidst this picturesque setting, Joe and Emma have emerged as a duo to watch. Their journey began not with a fiery, instantaneous passion, but with the slow, beautiful rhythm of genuine friendship. Their first encounter at Rice Plaza was unassuming, marked by casual banter and shared smiles under the summer sun. Over time, as they lingered over iced coffees and strolled through the park, their connection evolved into something far more profound. They've become confidants, sharing secrets and dreams in quiet moments that speak volumes. Now, as Joe grapples with the shattering truths about his family, it's Emma's steady presence that keeps him grounded. Their story isn't just about romance, it's about the power of unwavering support in the face of life's storms, a theme that resonates deeply in the heart of Port Charles this season. A bond forged in trust. What makes Joe and Emma's relationship so compelling is the foundation of trust they've meticulously built. And like many whirlwind romances that flare up and burn out, theirs has grown organically, rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Picture them sitting on the grassy knoll near the waterfront, the summer breeze tussling their hair as Joe pours out his fears and uncertainties. Emma listens intently, her eyes reflecting empathy rather than judgment, offering a safe harbor in his turbulent world. Recently, with his life turned upside down by revelations about his Quartermain lineage, Joe made a poignant confession: Emma is the only person he truly trusts. This declaration wasn't just a fleeting sentiment, it was a testament to the depth of their connection. Emma, in turn, has proven her loyalty by standing resolute by his side, ready to help him navigate the complex maze of his newfound identity. Whether they're sharing quiet moments at the pier or brainstorming ways to confront his family's past, their partnership radiates a quiet strength that's rare and captivating. Could this unshakable trust be the cornerstone of a love story for the ages? Challenges and support on the horizon. As Joe embarks on the daunting journey of understanding his place within the powerful Quartermain dynasty, Emma's role in his life becomes even more critical. The weight of family secrets and the expectations that come with such a legacy could easily overwhelm anyone, but Joe isn't facing this alone. Emma, with her compassionate spirit, is there to help him piece together the puzzle of his heritage, offering not just emotional solace but also a clear-headed perspective during heated family confrontations at the Quartermain mansion. Meanwhile, Emma herself is wrestling with her own setbacks, the stinging rejection of a coveted summer internship she had pinned her hopes on. Perhaps it's a prestigious position at a local art gallery or a research opportunity tied to her studies. Whatever it may be, the disappointment has left her questioning her path. In these moments of self-doubt, Gio's presence becomes her anchor, reminding her of her worth with encouraging words over late-night phone calls. Their mutual reliance, his need for her strength, and her need for his reassurance, creates a beautiful symmetry, hinting that their relationship could withstand any storm Port Charles throws their way. The making of a super couple. Will they rise to legend? General Hospital has a storied tradition of crafting super couples whose love stories become the heartbeat of the show, and Joe and Emma are showing all the signs of joining this elite circle. Their slow-burn romance, built on friendship and trust, mirrors the kind of enduring partnerships that fans adore. But what truly defines a super couple in Port Charles? Is it the electric chemistry, the ability to overcome impossible odds, or the way their story captures the collective imagination of viewers? Joe and Emma are ticking all these boxes, with their shared vulnerability and unspoken affection drawing us in. Imagine their first true romantic moment, perhaps a spontaneous dance under the stars at a summer festival, or a heartfelt confession by the docks as fireworks light up the night sky. These are the kinds of iconic scenes that could cement their status. As college students with bright futures and personal struggles, their youth adds a fresh, relatable dynamic to the show's romantic landscape. The question lingers: are they already falling in love, unaware of the depth of their feelings, or is the realization just around the corner? Their potential to become the summer's defining couple is undeniable, and we're on the edge of our seats waiting to see if they'll seize that destiny. A legacy of love in General Hospital. To fully appreciate the possibility of Joe and Emma as the next big super couple, let's take a nostalgic stroll through the annals of General Hospital's romantic history. It all began with the legendary Luke and Laura, whose epic adventure on the run in the summer of 1980 captivated audiences worldwide. Their tale of danger and passion set the gold standard for soap opera romance, making them household names. Following in their wake were Frisco and Felicia, the daring duo of the 1980s whose escapades from treasure hunts to heartfelt vows enthralled fans with their blend of adventure and devotion. Then came Lucky and Elizabeth, a couple forged in tragedy and redemption as Lucky supported Elizabeth through her recovery from a harrowing assault. Their love story echoing the resilience of Luke and Laura's legacy. The list of iconic pairs continues with Sunny and Brenda, whose fiery passion burned bright. Sunny and Carly, a tumultuous yet magnetic force. Robin and Stone, whose tender bond broke hearts with its tragic beauty. Jason and Sam, the epitome of loyalty amidst chaos. And most recently, Trina and Spencer, whose youthful ardor captured a new generation. Each of these couples brought something unique to Port Charles, be it adventure, heartbreak, or undeniable chemistry. As we reflect on these beloved pairings, we can't help but wonder where Joe and Emma might fit into this illustrious lineup. Do they have the spark to rival Sunny and Brenda, or the emotional depth of Robin and Stone? The unique charm of Joe and Emma's story. What sets Joe and Emma apart in the crowded field of General Hospital romances is the authenticity of their connection amidst personal upheaval. And like some couples who are thrust together by dramatic plot twists or instant attraction, their relationship feels grounded in real emotion. Gio's struggle with his Quartermain identity isn't just a plot device, it's a profound journey of self-discovery that Emma is helping him navigate with quiet strength. Picture them sitting late into the night at Kelly's diner, poring over old family letters or debating how to approach a confrontation with Monica Quartermain, their hands brushing as they share a comforting smile. Similarly, Emma's disappointment over her internship rejection adds a layer of realism. Her dreams have been deferred, much like many young viewers might experience. And Gio's encouragement feels like a lifeline. Their story isn't about grand gestures yet, but about the small, meaningful ways they bolster each other, whether it's Emma surprising Joe with his favorite smoothie after a tough day, or Joe sketching a whimsical portrait of Emma to lift her spirits. This blend of everyday kindness and shared resilience is what could elevate them to super couple status, resonating with fans who crave both romance and relatability. Your voice matters. Who's your favorite couple? As we ponder the potential of Joe and Emma to join the pantheon of General Hospital super couples, we want to hear from you, our dedicated fans. Which of the show's iconic pairs holds a special place in your heart? Are you still swept away by Luke and Laura's epic saga? Or do you find yourself rooting for the fiery intensity of Sunny and Carly? Maybe the tender tragedy of Robin and Stone left an indelible mark, or the modern charm of Trina and Spencer has won you over. And most importantly, do you see Joe and Emma as the next big love story to define a Port Charles summer? Could their blend of trust, mutual support, and unspoken longing propel them to the heights of soap opera legend? We're eager to know if you think they have the magic to rival the greats, or if there's another couple on the horizon you're more excited about. Drop your thoughts, memories, and predictions in the comments below. Let's spark a lively discussion about the past, present, and future of romance in General Hospital. And as always, keep tuning into ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel for the latest updates on Joe, Emma, and all the unforgettable drama unfolding in Port Charles.